Rather than with Casemiro probably leaving this summer, and I'm going to be honest with you, I just don't see a way he stays. But it also feels weird to say with Casemiro gone because he actually has not gone yet. United do need to figure something out with that, but he hasn't gone just yet. United need to bring in a defensive midfielder. I can make a case here right now that United need to bring in 2 midfielders, and I hope that's what the club do. But one will definitely be a defensive midfielder. And by all the reports, it looks like Manuel Ugarte is the preferred candidate to replace him. And I like that, and I'll tell you why I like that. On what I would call a quite thin defensive midfielder market, where you've got the likes of Rodri and Rice being the probable elites in that category, clubs have got to be a little bit cleverer when they're looking at the sort of profile of player that they want to sign. And Ugarte is a very decent opportunity, even though he's more of a 6'8" hybrid than an out-and-out number 6. He has the experience and the attributes to be a very good number 6 for Manchester United and the way we play football. Now, he is kind of known already for being an aggressive midfielder. That's his sort of, the thing that you think of is aggressive. Doesn't shy away from tackles, likes to get stuck in regularly, has got decent speed, acceleration, he can close people down, he's nice and agile. He's very front-footed and committed when it comes to his defensive work and his tackling. And that's valuable to teams that want to have a high press or a counter press and want to play football in the opposition half. And his speed and his tackling make him an excellent transitional defender, somebody that covers the distance well, someone that wins the ball back at a high rate. Doesn't necessarily have like the Amadou Onana ground coverage, but it's sufficient in the area that it would be an upgrade on Casemiro or Amrabat in the way he does it. And it makes him really effective at winning second balls too. He's in the 99th percentile for ball recoveries, which is it's one of those things that it's really hard to identify what that does to a team in terms of like, does that instantly improve your XG for, XG against? Does it effectively improve your retention of possession? It's hard to really pinpoint what it does, but it's a good thing to have. It's certainly something that if you could tick a box for it, you would want it. And I think when you look at how Manchester United was so wide open last season, someone that's just going to kind of patrol in front of the defence a little bit and be that first line of defence when we are being countered is an absolute godsend for this Manchester United side. Now, Ugarte's standout attribute is the positioning. He's constantly scanning, constantly making dynamic assessments to be in the right place at the right time to hit a tackle, an interception, or win one of those second balls. He senses danger real nice, and the defensive situations that he finds himself in with that speed, with the ability to react, he quickly puts out fires, which is a big thing. On the ball, Ugarte is very, very comfortable, and he is a solid passer. He's got a 91% pass completion. That's not obviously going to be groundbreaking for United, but it's helpful. And I don't think his passing's the most progressive. I don't think he's going to be splitting defences wide open from back to front, but he's going to keep it relatively safe, and that works for me. If I've got someone that's cutting about the place, crashing into people, I don't need him to also be setting chances up. I just need him to find Manu, to find Bruno, and then go back to his position and wait for United to lose the ball again and then go back to work. He likes to keep things simple, and he ranks high in the things that matter when it comes to keeping it simple. Pass completion is high, but it's low for progressive passes, which tells you that he's not trying to take risks, he's just keeping simplicity. And you want simplicity from your deepest midfielder. He has a bit of an underrated switch of play, which again, is a simple ball, but sometimes not seeing that, not having a vision to see that is a little bit of a problem for people. And he does play a wide variety of passes. He likes clipping it. Sometimes he can whip it first time. He can break the lines. It's just not something that he forces. And again, I like that. He disguises those line-breaking passes real nice, sets up like he's going to just keep it simple, and then actually he's popped it around the corner and I didn't see that one coming. Nice one. He does occasionally create chances from deep for runners that get ahead of him, but he's not really. He's certainly no Pirlo, and that's not what you'd be signing him for. It's just something that he does out in his locker, and when it's needed, he can bring it out. And I think he's good enough with room to improve, actually. I think the best trait with him on the ball is his dribbling ability. He seems to have this carry-first mentality, and I like that. Sometimes in central midfield, especially with the sort of very positional-heavy systems that you find in modern football, and I think Louis van Gaal when I think this, what you often get is players that will stand in the correct position, and they're happy to pass, and you don't really see people forcing the issue, and you can get caught up in passing, and when you're comfortably marked and you're just passing it, keeping it, doing that horseshoe around the back, it can feel like there's no way through that opposition defence. And you get stuck in this kind of rut and repeat of just pass. And to break that, you need someone who's going to run with the ball. And I think sometimes when teams get a little bit pass heavy, the way that you break that down is someone that's going to just drive the ball forward and just mix it up just that little bit. And I think that's the one thing that Ugarte likes to go through first. He does seem to want to drive first. He's got good speed. He's got excellent ball control. He makes him a real good carrier of the ball, and that can help the team progress up the pitch. Sometimes a pass isn't on. Sometimes the best thing to do is to drive the ball into space for 25 yards, and the picture will change by the time you get to the end of that dribble. Now there's a pass on. Now someone's had to come and engage you, and they've left the guy that they were marking. He's in space behind, find a pass, and we're off and we're away. I like that about him, and I like that from central midfield, actually. I think dribbling from central midfield is a real underrated asset, and people get in this mentality of, Rodri and Xavi and even Carrick to a certain extent of where it's pass. Actually, one of the best things you can do is just pick the ball up and get going with it. And he has a couple of sides to his on-the-ball game when he's under pressure. I think he does deal with pressure real well. He's definitely what you would call press resistant. But when it's in the line of sight, with the ability to evade the press, he can dribble, or he can play it simple, move, roll out, and appear again as another option for the pass. Now, he does have weaknesses, and a weakness of sorts, because I think that the United team that we've got at the moment probably could do with it. He can be at times a little bit too aggressive, which does lead to fouls, does occasionally lead to him getting turned and exposed. But that aggression, I think, is still a net positive. You would say Roy Keane at times was too aggressive, but it was a net positive. Vidic at times was too aggressive. It's a net positive. I'm not putting him in terms of ability on the same level as these guys. I'm just saying in terms of the aggression. You take that aggression where he misses 1 in 12 because actually the other 11 he managed to nail because he was aggressive. But he's got a high work rate. He's got good versatility. He can adapt to different roles in midfield, not necessarily have to just be the pure defensive anchor. He can absolutely be a box-to-box presence, and he can probably do both at the same time to a certain degree. The energy's there. The tactical awareness makes it a real good fit for what United need as someone just linking attack and defence. United are going to be pressing with 5. And I think the pressing with 5 is likely to include all the forward 3, Bruno and Manu, which means you're going to defend with 5. So the first line of defence is going to be Ugarte. So as soon as they've pressed, been bypassed, it's Ugarte. And having someone that's as aggressive and capable of cutting across any area of the pitch to shut something down is a massive asset for us there. But overall, I think he's solid. A real secure player. He's got good technical ability. The qualities that you're going to want in a defensive midfielder. He does have his weaknesses, but I think at the rumoured loan with a future fee, he's a top player for a real good price. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Ugarte brought in and like a Rabiot on a free, just to give United a couple of different options and not, be like, anyway, Kobe Manu, well done. You've had an incredible 6 months. You now need to play 55 games a season because there's nobody else. I think just having the ability to take him out of the firing line, because he's undoubtedly going to be a first choice next season, having the ability to take him out of the firing line, having the ability to rest Ugarte as well, because he is such a high-tempo player, you don't necessarily need him every single week. When it's a team that turns up and you're going to slap them, give him a night off. Let Rabiot do that job. Have the right tools for the right job and don't just play the same 11 every single week. There's too much football being played by players at the moment. You'd need to give people a night off. So I think it'd be a real bonus for us if you brought Ugarte in and Rabiot as well. I think that would start to make United's midfield look quite capable. But that's my thoughts. Please let me know yours in the comments, and I will see you in the next one. Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.